This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to cover the net neutrality rules, which I spoke of a few weeks ago, and how there was a ton of pushback against this, against Donald Trump and the FCC voting to dismantle the rules regulating the businesses that can connect consumers to the internet. I was also granting broadband companies the power to potentially reshape Americans' online experiences, also giving them or at least what they're claiming, the capability of upselling people or upcharging people. This was something that was set in place, of course, by the Obama administration. But remember, all this stuff is fake. And I say that, and what I mean by that is that this is push-pull, but this is a plan that's going to go forward no matter what. So even if there is pushback from people out there, which there already is, a ton of pushback, they're still going to go forward with whatever their plan is. And as somebody who is already having trouble being censored online, and it's not just about censorship online. I know people have said, well, it's not just about censoring things, it's about censoring what you can and can't look at. Your broadband provider can decide what sites you can and can't see, which kind of in a sense means they could shut down, websites like mine. And I say website, a website that I have, which I don't use, but that's my backup. If anyone ever needs to find me, I have a callforanuprising.com. But they could restrict channels like mine as well. Now, I'm somebody who's already going through this process. And again, even today, I've been trying to appeal the deletion of my main channel. For somebody who isn't aware, my main channel, Call for an Uprising, had about 250,000 subscribers, one of the fastest growing channels in this demographic, especially, growing faster than even the likes of Alex Jones and these other guys who completely are unrestricted, who have no problems, basically because they don't talk about certain topics, some pertaining to people who love bagels over in the Middle East area over there. But that's another story for another day. But I've had that channel taken down. I've been appealing it. And they still have no interest in reinstating the channel. They constantly are saying, man, I don't know how other people are getting their channels back. But I guess, there's just some stuff you can and can't talk about. But as somebody who has been censored, I know people are messaging me saying, this is going to be awful. Well, at the end of the day, they're still going to get what they have planned. This is part of their plan. This isn't a republic. So this illusion, well, we can fight back, we can protest. Yeah, you can. And all that really could do is potentially delay the inevitable. But they do these things to push-pull, to create division, to create, they want you to put your energy into stuff like this. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that can be done as far as, legal limitations and stuff like this when they put plans like this in place. They have a huge plan to censor the internet. They don't want people like me talking. They don't want people like you conversing with other people in the chat forums who are awake. It's dangerous to them because it spreads an awakening. And that's what's been going on. It's been spreading a mass awakening. And for those out there who are huge Donald Trump supporters, it's pretty funny. I don't hear any of these people who don't get censored, the Cernoviches, the Siemens, they can sit on there. They can do video after video talking about giving no information, absolutely zero information about anything, just going on rants about how Google's nothing but a bunch of pedophiles and, saying, calling the CEO of YouTube a pedophile, all this stuff. They can yell and scream like that, pretty much making slanderous accusations. They don't get their channels terminated. Nothing goes on with those types of people. That's the reason behind it, right? Because they push the Trump narrative. And when stuff like this goes through, you don't hear these patsies, these frauds like Cernovich and whoever come out and speak because they're not getting censored in the long run. Okay? Jones isn't getting censored, even if he'll pretend he is. Cernovich isn't getting censored. Siemens not getting censored. Poser, or whatever his name is, isn't getting censored. These guys are all plants. And they're all here to give you a little taste of truth and lead you down a deception, a hole of deceptions, I should say. So the agency scrapped the so-called net neutrality regulations that prohibited broadcast providers from blocking websites or charging for higher quality service or certain content. The federal government will also no longer regulate high-speed internet delivery as if it were a utility like phone service. The action reversed the agency's 2015 decision during the Obama administration to better protect Americans as they have migrated to the internet for most communications. So they want to control this. Okay, and that's not a surprise to any of us out there. The internet was put in place for a reason. We know what this is leading to. We know what has already happened because of it. The thing that they probably took into account but didn't realize it would happen the way it's happened is that there could be an awakening that does occur. Now, a lot of these people have gotten sloppy. They've gotten lazy as far as the elites are concerned with, exposing themselves, being careless in a lot of ways, getting caught in traps. We're catching them. People are being, there's more people on YouTube who are better investigative journalists or better detectives for the most part than people, who are working as cops or government agents and all that stuff. So they really have to figure out a way to start breaking down. Now, this isn't just going to all of a sudden take channels and websites like mine or other people have websites down, but it's going to lead to that. This is the beginning of that. The guy's name is Ajit Pai. The chairman of the commission said the rollback of the rules would eventually help consumers because broadband providers like AT&T and Comcast could offer people a wide variety of service options. Okay. Mr. Pai was joined in the 3-2 vote by his two fellow Republican commissioners. We are helping consumers and promoting competition. That is the reasoning behind it. And he said in a speech before the vote, broadband providers will have more incentive to build networks, especially in underserved areas. The discarding of net neutrality regulations is the most significant and controversial action by the FCC under this guy Pai. His plan for the net neutrality rules, first outlined earlier this year, set off a flurry of opposition, which, of course, is going to be pushback. But remember, they're going to get what they want. They control this illusion of a republic. Whatever they want, they're going to push through because people are never going to do anything except just complain. Right? That's what people are going to do. That's it. What do they care? They'll distract you with something else and you'll forget all about it. Critics of the changes say that consumers may have more difficulty finding content online and that startups will have to pay to reach consumers. In the past week, there have been hundreds of protests across the country, and many websites have encouraged users to speak up against their appeal. After the vote, numerous groups said they plan to file a lawsuit challenging the change. That's something that might give a little pushback for a time being and make them loosen up a little bit. But again, in the long run, we know what is coming and what is going to end up happening as far as free speech. We already see it going on. We see the control that they want to have over everybody. They're panicking is why that they're doing this stuff. The control and the how fast this happened with free speech is because they're panicking. They're getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar all over the place and people are waking up. The 5 commissioners were fiercely divided along party lines in front of a room packed with reporters and television cameras for the major networks. The 2 Democratic commissioners warned of consumer harms to come from the changes. Megan Clyburn, one of the Democratic commissioners, presented two folders full of letters in protest of the charges and accused the 3 Republican commissioners of defying the wishes of millions of Americans. They go on to just kind of say how, well, there's protests and there's going to be this or there's going to be that. It'll be interesting to see how these Trump supporters who are all supposed to be about freedom of speech and Trump is against the New World Order, well, if they're going to start regulating stuff like this, and, the internet companies are going to decide what you can and can't see, and they're going to decide they can charge you for certain things and not. And I mean, how is this guy fighting the New World Order then? Censorship, free speech is the problem. I mean, what's more important than free speech? Let's be realistic, right? Without free speech, I mean, what's left other than just full-on control? That's all most of us really have, right? I mean, that's what I feel that's all I feel I have is free speech. And I can use that to help wake people up. So this, in a sense, is going to get a ton of pushback from people. People are going to protest. They're going to do stuff. Does that mean anything's going to get overturned? Probably not. Are you interested to see what some of these so-called alt-right people say about it? I am. You know why? Because they're not going to say anything. And then they're going to try to twist it and tell you how it's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that people are going to get restricted and stuff like that. Even though, like I said, listen, I know people say, well, it's YouTube. YouTube has the right to decide what can be on there and what can't. But you guys see all the crap that's out there, right? You see other alt-right, because I'm labeled alt-right. You see these other channels out there making slanderous accusations. They get no strikes. They have no problem live streaming. If you can live stream, it means you have no strikes at all. When your channel gets deleted, it means you have 4 strikes. I got 4 strikes in the span of like 24 or 48 hours. I think I had 1 and then I got hit with 3. So these people who are pushing Trump and defending Trump, they're going to defend this stuff and tell you that it's good and it's not really what everyone's making it out to seem. And they're going to say that the left is, responsible for, giving false claims on what this really truly means. But at the end of the day, this is all about the government controlling the information that you can have, controlling what you can and can't look at, Big Brother keeping an eye over you at all times. And people are going to go, well, I can still look at porn, right? And as long as they can do that, then they won't care. But they're not going to realize that this is really to restrict people from finding truth and real answers. Remember, I did a video last year, which of course has been deleted by YouTube, where Google talked about how they were going to put in a new AI technology that if you typed in, is the Holocaust real or anything like that, that automatically it would, that you would never see anything questioning it. Everything that came up would say, it is real, this is why, and prove to people why. Right? So they wanted to control the information. They don't want you to be able to make a decision on your own. They want to tell you what the real answer is, or whatever, not the real answer. They want to tell you the answer without you being able to find the real answers or find truth or research stuff for yourself. So, of course, channels like this in the future will continue to get censored. Websites, too. That's what's most dangerous about it. A lot of big websites, a lot of good websites are going to get censored as well. So there's importance to it. Of course, you can call and do all this stuff, but this is what they expect people to do. Right? Now people come and they go, well, what then will we do? Well, what can you really do? I mean, you can call on other people out there, other truther channels to defend Donald Trump to stop shoveling the crap that this is a republic and this is a left-right thing, when this is overall a New World Order plan to censor free speech, because that's exactly what it is. So they're going through with this, and I'm sure there'll be some resistance, there'll be some lawsuits. Maybe they'll pull back a little bit and delay and do stuff like that, and people, like they do with most of these bills that get voted on. But in the end, this is what's coming and going to be full force, pushed harder and harder. This is just the beginning of it. So keep your eyes open for stuff like that. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.